Hey guys, so we're live once again, I think for the last time about MWC 2016. If you can hear us, please leave a comment saying you can hear us fine. If you can't, leave a comment saying you can't hear us. So MWC 2016 is more or less over now, and there have been a lot of products that have been launched, and this is about what we like the most. So what did we like the most? Our favorite is of course the LG G5. Xiaomi
Absolutely.
and I both agree that our favorite is the LG G5, and we also like the Huawei MateBook, but then this is just about smartphones. So our favorite is what? Our favorite is the LG G5. It's
The first modular smartphone.
yeah, the first
actually.
modular smartphone. And what are the other three? The Sony Xperia
The
X.
Xperia X I really love its
Yeah,
predictive
Sony
autofocus.
Xperia X series, predictive autofocus and all that we really like. And
But Xiaomi Mi 5 Prasid, do you?
the
are you-
Xiaomi Mi 5, of course, yeah. So we've actually been reading a lot of people saying, this is not very, what do you call it? Not
It
very.
wasn't worth the 2 year
Yeah,
wait.
it was like it wasn't worth the 2 year wait. But I mean, come on, when has Xiaomi really not done anything different? To be honest, what the price game is still here. The pricing seems pretty good, doesn't it? 2699 yuan translates to about 28,000 rupees Indian. So say about 30,000 rupees when it comes to India. So 30,000 rupees, when it comes to India, 30,000, the Snapdragon 820 phone. I think you can see the LG G5 on your screen right now, and so we're pretty sure that phone will cost above 50,000, right? And so will the S7.
Absolutely.
So will the Xperia X Performance.
And
so,
almost certainly the LG G5.
yeah, so I started with the LG G5. So yeah, so I think at 30,000 you suddenly still see that Xiaomi has a, this thing. Yes, Vaishali, you're watching a recording on the laptop, and we are still live. Yes, we are live indeed.
It's a
We're
live discussion,
It's a
Vaishali.
live discussion. So it is a discussion. So you guys are all free to join in, ask your questions, give us your opinions. So again, to reiterate, our favorites from MWC 2016 include the
LG G5.
LG G5, which is our favorite, the Xperia X series, the Xiaomi Mi 5, of course, and I don't know, the fourth would be a tie between the
Galaxy
Lenovo
as well.
K5 Plus and maybe, yeah, I think the Lenovo K5 Plus, simply because people seem really interested in that phone, to be honest. So yeah, that's about it. So if you have any questions, you can put those forward to us here. We'll definitely do our best to answer those questions. You can see Samir on your screen right now. Samir is actually on the way back right now. He is stranded in Moscow. I would say he's got like a 15-hour layover in Moscow, and he's been in Moscow for about 7 hours now.
Almost.
Yeah, about 7 to 8 hours now he's been in Moscow, and we've been helping him to actually work from the Moscow airport also. But yeah, of course he won't do that. But yeah, so Hardik
Prasid,
Singh says Xperia X Performance. Yeah, Shavik wants to say something.
Yeah, so Prasid, why don't we talk to them about the new features that Xiaomi Mi 5 is introducing? Like, you wrote a feature yesterday.
So that's
on the
actually
polls.
interesting. Whenever Hugo Bada comes on stage to tell you guys about a new phone, he talks about a lot of new things that the Mi 5 is doing, and things like UFS 2.0, 4-axis OIS, and there's the DTS, that is Deep Trench Isolation, DTI, sorry, the Deep Trench Isolation. Now these things are really interesting. Yes, we agree, but they're interesting not because Hugo Barra said so. A lot of people don't know that. I'm gonna pause for a second. Kshitij Dhingra says, using Android for last 5 years, is it time to switch to iPhone? Is 6S Plus worth it, or should I wait for these phones to come in India? Kshitij, the question between Android and iPhone it's actually a age-old question now, and it really depends on what you do with your phone. Do you like the open ecosystem of Android? Do you want to stick to that ecosystem? If you do, then I would tell you that Android phones are now closer to iOS than it has ever been before. But having said that, both the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus perform in terms of processor performance. They're better than any Android phone. So how Android phones have reached the iPhone level performance is a very good example of that would be the cameras on phones like the G5, G4, S6, etc. They actually have better cameras than the iPhone 6s
Yep.
in some ways. Of course, it finally comes down to what you really like. So the choice of OS is at the end of the day based on your own preference. Yes, the high-end Android phones are just as expensive. So it's about, do you want that ecosystem? Do you not want that ecosystem? Are you happy with Apple telling you what you should and should not want and you liking it? Because Apple will deliver. They have delivered till now. So if you're happy with that, go ahead, move to an iPhone. Of course, assuming that you can afford an iPhone. Hardik Singh,
Says,
oh, he's answering
Someone
a
asked-
question. Somebody asked whether there's a new Motorola phone from at MWC. No, there wasn't a Motorola phone, as Hardik told you, but the Moto X Force today went on to retail stores. So you can actually, according to Motorola, you can buy it from 400 retail stores across India now. And I think in a cash-heavy economy like India, 400 retail stores is a good way to start.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's about it for Motorola. I'm gonna go back to Xiaomi for a second. The UFS 2.0, Yugabara really talked about this. You know, it has UFS 2.0. But what a lot of people don't know is that UFS 2.0 is actually a Samsung technology. It's something Samsung started. It actually was introduced in 2014, as far as I can remember. And the first phone that got it was the Galaxy S6. And while we haven't seen the Xiaomi Mi 5, we have seen the Galaxy S6. And in the S6, UFS 2.0 did make a big difference. So what Samsung says is that UFS 2.0 is basically going to be as fast as SSD grade this thing. It can be as fast as SSDs, which is something that a lot of you will enjoy. Not because it's not because of the SSD thing. It's more because of what it will do to your phone. So having UFS 2.0 in your phone can mean that your phone will feel much smoother and fluid and fast, which at the end of the day amounts to good performance. Of course, just having UFS 2.0 does not mean your phone will perform well. So we'll have to see the Xiaomi Mi 5 before we decide whether it is a good performer. But we have seen UFS 2.0 in action in the Galaxy S6 and we really loved it in there. Atikant Aluwali is asking, when will the Xiaomi Mi 5 come to India? Atikant, we don't have a date yet, but from what Hugo Bara told us, he said that it'll be way into towards the end of the year. So yeah, it seems like there's a wait, but Hugo Bara also said that if they see adequate demand, they might plan an April launch. So go ahead, scream at the Mi forum, scream on the Facebook pages of Xiaomi. Make sure they bring it to India by April. Sahil Arora says, is there any confirmation about the launch date of HP Elite X3 in India? Sahil, I'd be really surprised if HP plans to bring it first to India, because the Windows market is very small in India, and HP does not have enough of a reason to bring this phone to India right now. But yeah, I can see why you're asking. We really like that phone. It seems like the best Windows phone in the market today, and
that's saying a lot.
Yeah, and that is saying something. And we're also hoping we can tell you more about that phone very soon.
Yep.
Shavik actually has a lot of things to say about MWC also, so I'm gonna hand it over to him when I have some water.
Well, so what I was really interested that this paradigm that shifts every year, like we were talking about the Exynos processors, the Snapdragon 820, and so many benchmark leaks and everything, and we finally have the phones running on 820 and Exynos. In fact, we published a feature yesterday explaining how the Snapdragon 820 and Exynos 8890 works. So if you're interested in how the processors work, you guys can go
Hardik can
check
put
it
the
out.
link out for you guys. If
Yeah.
you want to read that story, Hardik
we
can always
have a
put the link
comment
out.
by-
N Running Man, you were here in I think the last time we did this podcast. So welcome
Hey,
back.
man.
Thanks for watching all the time. Which, by the way, reminds me, all of you guys watching, there's a live subscribe button on the top right of your video. Please do click on that so that you can, stay tuned to Digit. We'll be doing this podcast very, very often now, and we'll come up with more topics, more interesting topics.
And you can actually
sorry.
write to us with
So-
your questions. if
Yeah, you can
want,
always
and we'll
write to
discuss
us
them.
with your questions. We will discuss them on this podcast. And of course, as always, you're welcome to comment here. We'll try and answer as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, N Running Man says, which one from those flagship has a faster shutter and autofocus? So, I can't tell you what has a faster shutter and autofocus because I haven't seen the phone yet.
But the Xperia X,
The Xperia
the
X has a
predictive autofocus.
predictive autofocus which should be super fast. But then again, I'll tell you one thing: there were a lot of autofocus things done last year also, but nothing focuses as fast as the Note 5 last year, Note 5s and the iPhones. So let's not discount Samsung. Let's not discount LG at the moment. We can still expect good stuff from them. Varnika Aval is asking us your take on Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. I just gave you my take on S7 and S7 Edge. They might have very good cameras. They should have very good cameras. I wish Samsung once again did more for its design. I have never really been a big fan of Samsung designs though. But yeah, so the curve back they say makes a difference. Even Samir says it makes somewhat of a difference in terms of ergonomics. And so I use the Note 5, and I think yes, the curve back can make somewhat of a difference. Amit Dhawan asks us when Moto G4 expected. Amit, there is no word on the Moto G4 right now. They actually just launched the Moto Turbo a while ago, so has to be this thing. Jayesh is asking us where is the like button.
It's
The
right
like
above you,
button
Jayesh.
is right above you, I think, but the live subscribe button is on the top right of your screen or the top left of your screen. I'm pretty sure it's a bluish button. Look for it. And please do subscribe to this video. You guys will get all the latest updates from the tech world then. Which MWC phone is coming to India first? So we actually got a save the date invite from HTC today for. It's very cryptic. If you've seen HTC's social pages, which I'm sure you're heading to now, the invite
10?
just says look for 10.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could mean Helio X10, it could mean HTC One M10, but then we have heard nothing about the HTC One M10 at MWC. If it means Helio X10, it will make more sense because the HTC One X9
X9
was just launched, just announced at MWC, and it has already been, imported to India for testing, as we reported earlier. Again, Hardik or somebody can put out the link here for that for you to read. So we are expecting the HTC One X9 very soon, and also the fact that the only real clue there is the number 10. We are guessing it will be March 10th. So it seems the HTC One X9 will be the first phone to come to India. Also, if the HTC does do on March 10th, Samsung has also said that on March 11th it will be launching in 11 countries. And we are really hoping that India would be one of them, because India is one of Samsung's most important markets nowadays. Which brings us to, again, our favorite phone from MWC, the LG G5. LG for once has said that it will be launching the G5 in all its important markets simultaneously, and we would be really surprised if India is not one of its important markets. Danish Ahmed, I have no idea what you're trying to say with that link, and yeah, I have no idea what you're trying to say with that link. I'm hoping you're trolling. If you're trolling, best of luck. Well, that's about everything. If you guys have more questions, please ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna go on ranting about the Xiaomi Mi 5 once again.
But Prasad, I think we can also talk about the Zoppo Speed 8, the first phone with Helio X20.
Oh yeah, Shavik really likes that phone, so I'll let
No,
Shavik
but I just
talk
feel
about-
bad because
talk about that phone.
So the Zoppo launched the first phone with powered by the Helio X20. It's a deca-core processor. Hardik is our in-house expert on mobile SoCs, and he can go on ranting about how.
Hardik wants to be the expert.
Never mind. So he can really explain to you how the deca-core processor works. But for what you need to know is that Zoppo's Speed 8 looks like a pretty formidable phone on paper. You can just log into digit.in/MWC and you will see our slideshow and our coverage of Zoppo's launch from MWC, and you can decide for yourself if Helio X20 is as big a deal as Snapdragon 820 or the Exynos 8890. We'll move on where Surya Raj Sen is asking Mi 5 Pro version display resolution. Any idea? Prasid, Mi 5 is your favorite phone.
So what? You answer. Anyway, it has a. I think that phone has a
1080p.
what do you call it? A Full HD display. That's a 1080p resolution. So, and before you say 2K, I'm actually really glad Xiaomi has gone with a 1080p display. You see, 2K displays are good. Yes, when you make a higher resolution display but a smaller size display, the pixel density is really high. But there's only so many pixels that you need, and Xiaomi's displays, from what we have seen so far, are really amazing. So, as long as they've made their displays brighter and the touch sensitivity is just as good, and they've used proper glass coating, I really wouldn't mind a full HD display on a phone that costs 30,000 rupees. So I'm hoping this would be good, and I'm pretty sure Full HD and QHD shouldn't be the question here. Just like, I think we wrote this in the OnePlus 2 review also earlier, that yes, these phones do not have a QHD display, but then do you really need a QHD display? You need, if you really think about it, Samsung Super AMOLED is what makes its displays awesome. It doesn't, or rather, you may disagree with the word awesome, but what makes its displays good, or what makes people like them, is the fact that they're Super AMOLED, not that they're QHD. Same goes with LG, and the best example of good good displays is Sony, which has never done a QHD display, done one 4K display, which was just basically for show, and its Full HD displays are still nearly as good as any other display in the market. Kshitij Dhingra says, can you put that virtual reality accessory on the camera? We want to see how it looks like. Haha. Which virtual reality accessory are you talking? Are you talking about LG's virtual reality accessory?
VR360.
Because we will definitely be doing that when this thing comes. For now, I'm gonna put a different virtual reality accessory right in front of you, just for you. I'm gonna hand it to Shavik while I get that for you.
Yeah. So this just walked into our labs today, and like just before we were going live actually, and well, Prasid just went off for 15 minutes because he loves VR, and well, who doesn't? So 1 second, we just have a question coming in from Prasun Verma. Which phone has better sound quality?
Prasun, before we answer that question, we just got this in the lab, and you can see this is the Samsung Gear VR. This is basically our weekend plan for this week. We will be playing with this. We have a Note 5 to go with this, and we are going to see whether Mark Zuckerberg can become our future overlord. And hey, maybe he can. And we're hoping it gives us the VR experience that we hope it will. It'll be better than Google Cardboard, of course, since it's powered by Oculus. And so let's see how much better it is than the Google Cardboard.
I'll just keep it here.
Yeah, so going back to Prasun Verma's question then, which phone has the better sound quality, G5 or S7? I think on paper they'll both be the same, but then for the G5 you can buy a separate Bang & Olufsen
The
DAC.
Hi-Fi Plus.
Yeah, the
external
Hi-Fi
DAC.
Plus. I'm sorry. You can buy the Bang & Olufsen DAC, the Hi-Fi Plus, which is supposed to enhance its sound.
It can enhance practically any audio that you play.
It's supposed to do that for your phone. But I am actually not very not sold on all these sound enhancements for phones, because there's only so much you can do, and a lot in sound has to do with things that are beyond human control. They're science.
Yeah.
They're basically science. You can't really question science sometimes. So often it becomes marketing jargon, and what happens is, yes, some things do help. For example, the ESS jack in the Vibe X3 did help. But for the Vibe X3's ESS jack to help you, you really need a high-end pair of headphones. I think I used them with a bunch of Bose headphones that costed some nearly 40,000 rupees. And
Yeah, he's just showing off.
no, I I never show off. Anyway, okay, I do. So I used them with that just because somebody had them in office and I could see, yes, there's a difference. But then I myself use an Audio Technica CKX9 and I don't feel a very big difference there. So I don't know whether I would still pay extra for sound. Yes, I like the fact that people are doing these things, and I'm hoping eventually they can get to very good this thing. But for now, I'm not very well sold on these things. Oh look, somebody talked about VR and a VR video has started on the screen.
Yeah.
Is that an ad or is that a video?
No. It's
That
the
is a
reaction
video.
of
Yeah.
people reacting to the
Oh,
VR
yeah, so
360.
people reacting to VR. Oh, nice. So, the internet in the office is again being really good, as
Yeah,
our
we
internet
have
is
those
always awesome. You
problems.
know, our internet in our office is so awesome that you guys will be so jealous of us. And yeah, no, I am not actually talking slowly right now. You're buffering, so you can not hear me properly. Don't worry. No, I'm kidding. So, you can see the video buffering in front of you, and that's only because the internet is, slow.
It's being super
So,
fast.
a lot of you also asked, Prasun Verma says, I am using Note 4 though. I am not sure if the Note 4 supports the Gear VR right now, but I'll have to check that for you, Prasun. I think it should. I think it should support the Gear VR. I'm not sure yet.
Sorry, Raj.
Sorry, Raj again says Mi 5 Pro versus Note 5. Who wins? I think the Mi 5 is just a newer phone. Snapdragon 820 is supposed to be better than the Exynos 7, and it all comes down to when we get the phones in hands. And one thing that does matter is, do you like smaller phones? Do you like bigger phones? Because the Mi 5 Pro will definitely be a more ergonomic device than the Note 5. The Note 5 is a big device, so that is going to differ. Divyam Sachdeva says, why are the SD810 devices costlier as compared to SD820 devices? Divyam, I'm not sure that's true right now because the SD820 devices haven't come to India yet, so we don't know what the India pricing is. So we will have to wait before we can, we'll definitely put that question forward to Qualcomm someday, but assuming that, Qualcomm or whoever, even the OEMs for that matter, but we'll first have to really be sure that that is actually happening. And I'm actually almost certain that that won't happen anyway. So you can see the Xperia X on your screen right now, and this is Shauvik's favorite phone
Yes.
from MWC. It took some effort to convince him, by the way, that the LG G5 is the best phone from MWC.
But I
He
like
still
the
likes
G5.
Xperia phones because he's a Sony fanboy. I am just going to give him his 5 minutes of fame just so that he can talk about the Sony. If you guys are offended, please feel free to abuse him in the comments. Sure.
Thank you, Prasid. That was really, really sweet of you. But yeah, so Sony, in a surprising development, which was pretty surprising to me, Sony declared yesterday that they might be discontinuing the Xperia Z lineup, and the Xperia X lineup will be their new flagship device, which somewhat went contrary to what they said at MWC upon launch, that the Xperia X lineup will be mid-range. But here's the deal. Sony has launched 3 Xperia devices at MWC. The XA, which is supposed to be a budget range device for Sony, priced at $300. So that's kind of inexpensive for Sony. Once again, the Xperia X is priced at $600, $599, and we are yet to get confirmation on the X Performance. But X Performance will lead Sony's flagship lineup for now. It's powered by the Snapdragon 820 and it's got all the flagship class specifications. But one that really got me interested, apart from the fact, as Prasid said, that I'm a huge Sony fan, is the predictive hybrid
Fanboy, not
autofocus.
fan.
Never mind. Is the predictive hybrid autofocus, and it's also got intelligent charging, which Sony claims will save battery based on your usage performance and charging pattern. So Sony seems to be not focusing on specifications and trying to optimize usage. I can see Prasid itching to.
Fanboy talking.
I can see Prasid really determined to. But anyway,
so I'm gonna cut you off again because you're ranting. Prasun Verma says, "Was that the LG rolling bot?"
Yes,
Yes,
it was.
Prasun, it was the LG rolling bot. No,
Divyang
and no,
has a
Prasun,
question.
we don't have it yet. You can log on to digit.in/MWC right now. There's a video right on top. You can watch any video from our entire MWC coverage right now there.
So, Prasun-
Divyang Sachdeva says Limax Pro costs 21,000.
But he has a
Divyang,
question
I'm
before
not
that,
sure
actually.
you're right about that. Okay, Divyang's question was SD810 and SD820, which we already addressed. So
Why are the devices costlier as compared to SD8?
yeah, so Divyang, again, SD810 devices are, I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure you're right there because SD820 devices haven't come to India yet and we don't have a pricing for that. Aditya Sundarvel says, guys, in general, what's your opinion about OnePlus One phone?
Are there?
Are you talking about the company OnePlus or are you talking about the OnePlus One? If you're talking about the OnePlus One, Hardik, if you're listening, please spam the comments, tell him what you think about the OnePlus One. So we have this person here in office called Hardik Singh. He has been using a OnePlus One for over a year now. He started off saying it's an amazing phone. Now suddenly today, a few hours ago, he decided it is not a good phone anymore.
Yeah,
We're
he
pretty
does
sure it's because he wants a new phone, but yeah, he now says it's not a good phone. What I will say is that the OnePlus One was a hell of a device and it broke all price barriers. Hi Siddharth, thanks for joining. Siddharth Pavrate is here. A lot of you would know him and you know what he's about, so please feel free, Siddharth, to comment again. Going back to the OnePlus One, the OnePlus One was a very good phone. It was actually so good that the OnePlus 2, even though it was good, did not feel as good simply because I said good too many times.
Yeah, you like that word.
Yeah, sorry. If you're confused, I just meant good but not good but good. Anyway, so
That was helpful.
the OnePlus 2 is a good phone, but it did not have that oomph factor, you know. See, I thought of something new.
Yeah.
The oomph factor that the OnePlus One did. So yeah, we really love the OnePlus One. Sabapati K. Vignesh asks, what's the best budget phone now? If you could explain the budget a little more, because we call the Le Eco Le 1S the best budget phone. It costs about 11,000 rupees. If your budget is lower than that, do let us know. We'll definitely tell you which one is the best. Reese Kishu says, any good phone under 15,000?
Just answer.
Riz, I think I just answered your question, but Le Eco Le 1S is the best phone under 15,000. You will, if you really care about the camera, then yes, the Honor 5X has a better camera. But everywhere else, the Le Eco Le 1S beats both the Honor 5X and the Lenovo K4 Note. I think that's all for today. We will take your leave for now. If please do hit the live subscribe button on top and on the top left or right, wherever it is. I honestly
He's
have
still
forgotten.
confused about where the like subscribe button is.
Yunus Malik says OnePlus 2 or Lenovo Vibe X3. Please suggest, or should I wait for Mi 5? Yunus, the Mi 5 will come to India at the end of the year. At least that's what Hugo Bara has said. If you're okay waiting that long, then yes, I think you should wait for the Mi 5. For the other reason for that is because I'm pretty sure by then Lenovo will also have a new phone and OnePlus will also have a new phone. You'll have more phones to choose from. If you really need to buy right now, the OnePlus 2 has a better camera than the Vive X3, and otherwise the two phones are equal in every other aspect except that the Vive X3 costs about $5,000 lower. I'm hoping that helps you answer your question. If you, yeah. Ritik Kalra says, I need to ask you guys, before I answer these questions, I need to ask you guys something. We just said we are signing off and you started asking questions. Why didn't you ask these questions before? Anyway, Ritik Lakra says, is Moto X Play better than OnePlus X? In terms of performance, no. In terms of camera, no. They're the same in terms of camera. the OnePlus X Moto X Play is probably a tad faster, but then OnePlus X has more, customization options. Jagjot Singh Bhalla, 6S or 6S Plus? Jagjot, it really depends on whether you want a smaller phone, better ergonomics, or
And
whether
your
you want a
budget.
bigger phone. They're as powerful. 6S Plus has a better camera than the 6S.
Yeah.
A much better camera. Again, Sauryaraj Sen says, any info about Google Project Ara? Sauryaraj, sorry, no, there's no info
Yet
on Google
another
Project
year.
Ara yet. But I read something recently that said that Project Ara may finally be a tablet and not a phone. And it makes sense to me, but then we all saw what LG did. So, well, maybe Google will be coming in with something soon. Savapati K. Vignesh says, I'm using 6S, which is smart, but if I like
But if
If I-
the awkward
if
large,
I like
if you
the-
like the awkward large display, I
awkward
think that's
large.
what he
Oh,
wants.
I think he was answering
Yeah.
somebody else. Thanks, Savapati, for answering. Best phone under 12K. Are you asking that? If you're asking that, I've already answered it.
Yeah,
It's the
he's sure
Lee
asking.
1S.
6S isn't the best phone.
Lee 1S. That's it, guys, for today. We are going to be back with the same podcast for tomorrow. We need to think of a name for this podcast because MWC is now over and we really can't write Best of MWC anymore. So please suggest names. You can email us on editor@digit.in. You can reach us on